Hi there, Cosmic Family. My name is Yahlial. The moon today, December 15th, is going through Scorpio until December 17th. And well, it is showing us parts of ourselves that we need to face, that we need to illuminate, to turn ourselves aware of the energies, the thoughts, and the behaviors that perhaps we are sustaining and that are not contributing, that we need to change. So, this is about recognizing what needs to be purged from our system inside and outside. Because what we choose to sustain and it is not making us feel good, and therefore it is not making feel good other people, or is not contributing to the growth to other people. With this, I am not trying to transmit that everything in life should be easy and comfortable, but of patterns and experiences that we truly feel as they are not something that is ours, that is not our soul, that are generating suffering, which is not the same that going through, pain in a certain passage of the experience. All of that has basis in programmings of survival, and the fact that they function to survive in some moment of life doesn't mean that right now works to create inner stability, emotional stability. Understanding this, as I have the resources in me to deal with the changes. And precisely today, Mars entered Capricorn until January 23rd of 2026. And this Mars has very clear that in order to make the ascent to the mountain, many times we need to put a healthy exigency over oneself, challenging ourselves, training to overcoming obstacles. The shadow, I was also saying, could be very related to this unmeasured or excessive exigency, that it is coming from, topics from a thing of self-esteem and not feeling enough. And of course, we can work on that. But a very, very low tolerance to frustration will also prevent us from developing. And this transit is very nice because the new moon that occurs in the sign of Sagittarius is given in the degree 28 at the end of Sagittarius. And that's why it is in a conjunction with Mars, also with Venus. I'm going to talk about that event later. This means that the seal of the Proximo, I'm mixing languages, of the next 6 months, Mars in Capricorn is participating of that, and this is consistent action, discipline. If you are beginning new things, it is truly very good to give a structure and organization to a project. If we are focusing in the steps that we need to take towards a goal, an objective, there is much more fluidity to commit with ourselves and to limit and to put a boundary to what is not actually contributing with the achievements. And also it is about seeing challenges as way of growth and moving forward. In fact, it could be a very ambitious Mars, with this wheel of getting to the top of the mountain. I'm saying this in the good sense because the desire of growth is coming from the soul. The thing is that the desire could be distorted when the things that we want to achieve are only related on how other people are going to perceive ourselves with the result, and not on how we are feeling along the way, on wanting certain resources so we are validated by other people, or choosing a path because we believe that that's what other people are expecting, or it is the social status that is going to be valued. There we have to observe ourselves, because if we are depositing that much in the external approval, that could lead us to take directions and decisions that truly not belong to the sense of the soul. And even if you generate those resources, you have the result, or the exterior is approving you, there is not going to be inner plenitude, because that emerges from making a labor or building something that we feel with much purpose, of valuing and celebrating the path and the little achievements of every day. I do think that, however, there are things that could be started much more related with the ego, and then we can reveal other phases of those experiences. I mean, there are people that start to do exercise because they want to have an acceptable image for society. I am not saying that it's wrong, wanting to feel good with how we are seeing what we see in the mirror. But the thing is, when we are basing all of our value in that and we are centering the important things on that, even there are very people with imbalances that instead of focusing on themselves, they are demanding other people how they should how they should see how they should be seen. I don't know. That is a projection of their frustrations or the things that they don't like of themselves. Because when there is focus in our goals and in our own purposes, we don't want to disperse our energy in things that actually are not adding a good thing. But coming back to the example, because I don't know the expression right now, I'm trying to think in the expression in English, but okay, it doesn't matter. Coming back to the example, with time, there are people that discover a greater quantity of other benefits, mental, emotional, physical, obviously, the possibility of having mobility, quality of life while we are aging, health. And I am putting this example because from my perspective, physical activity is something that we need to incorporate as much as eating properly. It is not something that should be seen as a hobby. It is a way of inhabiting and taking care of the physical body, and to prevent problems while we are aging. And it is also about thinking of the people that surround you, because the less you can move, the more you are going to depend on others. So coming back to Mars in Capricorn, this is focusing step by step in what we want to build. If there are ideas, it is about descending them to the plane of matter, but also decisions or initiatives that require much determination and contact with our inner authority. I am referring decisions that imply stop seeking for that external approval and being ourselves the ones that are assuming responsibility for what we want to create. Now, other shadow of this transit is that the energy of Capricorn many times could have the tendency from to the self-sufficiency. I think this is the word, from a conditioning. I mean, I have to do everything alone. There is this difficulty to ask for help or delegate or to give themselves a license to enjoy or to rest. So if you have certain patterns like this, it is important to observe that. And also for the people that have the tendency to take responsibilities that they shouldn't, I mean, burdens of others. That will also be very important, because this goes hand in hand with the square between the Sun in Sagittarius and Saturn in Pisces that is very strong right now. For many people, this is not being like little scenes of learning healthy boundaries. These are very important lessons of a great end of a cycle. There are relationship structures and forms of life with there was a lot of identification that was part of an experience. But Saturn in Pisces is marking that there are places where we cannot give our energy in an unlimited way, that denying a reality or keeping giving more than what we can to make something working is something that causes us a damage, that hurt us in our emotional, mental, and physical body. And we cannot expect changes in other areas, even because everything is connected. Pisces is this quality of unity. If we continue to sustain certain incoherences that are not representing love towards oneself, and therefore what is surrounding us, even if this means facing painful truths, even if this is about realizations that lead us to question dynamics that were part of our lives for a long time, facing realities that were very distant from our expectations. This is very necessary. So this cycle that begins, we can make this true space for the things that we do dream and that we do want to create in our experience. For other people, this could be expansive decisions, but they are facing them with they have to face, I mean, fears of not being capable, fears of not being approved by others. This is very related to Saturn and Capricorn. It is the same. It is their ruler, because this is a symbol of the father, and it is the father which archetypically, not always in the practice, is the one that gives us the confidence, the validation, the structure to encourage ourselves to do things that are challenging us and that challenge our present capacities. That's why we need to celebrate ourselves and to celebrate children, the effort, appreciating the will of doing more than results, because results, they are coming from all the times that we try, that we do, even that we fail, and we learn about the failures and we come back to try. So I'm going to end this video here. Thank you everyone. See you in the next one. Ciao, ciao.